Hello, everyone. This is Bert Landro, your business English coach. I hope you're all very well today, and wherever you are, that you're having a nice day, keeping busy. So, how how is everyone? Please let me know if you can hear me okay. Uh, please interact. But the first thing would be just let me know if the sound is okay, if the video feed is fine, if you're seeing everything fine. And I'm just going to change my screen here so you can see that the slide's a little better. Today, I think this is important stuff. Professional business English to manage challenging conversations, situations. I'm sure that many of the things we talk about today you will have experienced before. And please give me your comments. We can talk about it. Some of these issues you probably have a lot more experience than I do, and we'd all like to hear your comments. Now, getting started. What do you do when a client isn't very clear about their expectations? Or let's say the scope of the project keeps changing, it keeps creeping up. We call this scope creep. You started doing one thing, but they keep adding to it, and you're a little confused about billing issues or whatever. Maybe your boss is not so clear. The leaders in the company are not so clear. How do you react to this? What do you do? Any comments? Now, I know there's a delay here on LinkedIn. I'm also on YouTube and Facebook. All right. We can ask them we can kind of repeat what we think they said, what they're talking about. Let's acknowledge and ask. Acknowledge their instructions, but we need to clarify. Come up with some good questions about it. Show that we're really listening, responsive listening skills. Repeat back. This is the way I understand it. Am I correct? I'd say in all these things, at the last thing we should say is a question about, do I understand this correctly? Am I correct? Am I getting it? Do I understand it properly? Is this what you mean? Written comments. I feel that when people put things in writing, they give it a lot more consideration, and they reread it, retype it, they reanalyze their precision. Putting it in writing is a good exercise. Now, you may want to put it in writing and send it to them, and let them know too, that it could be an extra charge, right? It could be an extra. What about the top statement? Is that okay? That makes absolutely no sense. What are you talking about? Who would you talk like this to? Maybe a child, but even that would be kind of rude, wouldn't it? We'd probably like to be more pleasant to our children. So we could thank them. Thank you for the instructions. I want to make sure I understand everything correctly. Can you please clarify? I appreciate your guidance. What's guidance? They guide you through it. They show you the way. To ensure I'm on the right track, so I'm going the right way, can we go over this point? I'm really not too clear about the deliverables that you're looking for in the next month. Can you maybe explain it in different words? Give me a little more depth. Repeat back. If I understand you correctly, you'd like me to deliver the project sooner, change these fonts, these colors. Maybe the call to action has to be different, whatever you're talking about. Have I got that correct? Am I really understanding it? And again, you could volunteer. Okay, so I think I understand you correctly. I'd like to put this in writing and send it to you, and you just read it and just follow up. Let me know I'm on the right track. I don't want to waste any time, and I want to get things done as promptly as possible with your help. And so let's recap. Let's go over it. Let's review it. Being given unwelcomed advice. I have a weakness. I don't take criticism very well. I should. I'm 70 years old. I'm still learning. But sometimes unwelcomed advice is good. Another thing we say is advice we get for free is worth what you pay for it. But often people all want to add their 2 cents. And could be good, but often it's not. We feel they're kind of encroaching on us. Stay calm. Watch your body language. Watch your tone. It's not just the words. It's how we look, how we express our words, the tone that we use. Express gratitude. I appreciate your comments. I appreciate your help, even if it's useless. We're not going to say that. And we might, depending on the situation, we always have to be political, but we might just kind of let them know that, okay, we're doing pretty good. At this point, we don't really need any help. I'll certainly come to you if we run into difficulties. What do you think? Comment. Sarah, thanks for commenting. It's good to see you. And I hope you're doing well today. What do you think? Have you encountered any of these situations? People giving you unwanted advice, telling you how to run your business? Parents always want to tell their children how to run their business, even if we don't know better. Now, I'll give you some sample language. Thank you for sharing your thoughts with me, John. I appreciate you taking the time to give me your advice. I understand where you're coming from, but I feel that my contributions in the meeting are suitable for the context we're in. I'm comfortable with my current approach. Now, maybe a little more political would be a redirection. I noted your input. By the way, how's your project going? So we're kind of sidelining it. We have to be artists, don't we? We're emotional beings. We think we're logical, but we're emotional. And egos are so fragile. We need to be careful. Anybody else have some comments? Where are you from? What are you doing today? Let me... How often do you work in English? So throw some of this stuff at me. That would be good. I'm sorry if I'm blocking some of the conversation here with my mugshot and these comments and that. But please interact. Now, where are we? This is a little abrupt, isn't it? These deadlines are impossible to meet. That's absolute. Usually we don't want to be that absolute. Sometimes we say, well, I've got an awful lot of work in the bin right now. My team is very tied up on the project. It will probably mean sacrifices on other important projects. Let's really consider our resources unless you want to add some resources. This is always difficult, isn't it? And we have to maintain our work-life balance. Again, express gratitude. Thank you for entrusting me with this task. Thank you for giving me more work. Communicate the challenge clearly. Okay, I've reviewed the requirements and timelines. I do see some serious challenges here, meeting the proposed deadline provided, and I know it's going to take some resources from other projects. Provide evidence and reasoning. I'd like to go over the current deadlines, milestones that we're trying to achieve, and we're getting there. We're just making them on time. Adding this will really add some complications to it and could affect the quality of our work. Alternative solutions. Give it to the other team, please. No, let's be proactive. When I own businesses and that, I didn't like it when people were always coming to me and expressing complaints and problems and that, and not giving me any ideas on how we could solve it. We have to be cooperative. We need to, I like people who are self-motivated. They bring me up to date. They show me what they're doing. They make reasonable suggestions on how to solve the problem. That's good. But none of us like people who just complain. And forgive me if I'm insulting anybody. Thank you, Sarah, for updating me as to who's online. And I appreciate it. So there are at least 5 people online now. Tell me about yourself. Are you from Brazil? Are you from Chile? Are you from Italy? Where do you live? Maybe you're from the Far East. I hope you're having good weather today. Seek compromise and confirm next steps. We're looking for that win-win solution. That's a bit of a cliche, isn't it? It's like out of the box. We need to think out of the box. We need a win-win solution. We say these things so often. Sometimes we need a little break from it. To ensure clarity moving forward, can we all agree on altering the deadline for Project B so we can get started on this? Now, of course, if we think of a circle with our energy and the outputs from our energy, from our work, if we have 6 outputs, they're only going to be X amount of long, because if we had 1 output, it could be 6 or 7 times even more energy applied to that. And if we show a little illustration, that's kind of a good thing, isn't it? Do you ever feel like you have so many projects that nothing is getting completed? Hey, Philippe, thank you for commenting. I hope Felipe, yeah, I didn't pronounce your name wrong. Sunny, yeah. I think it's sunny in Brazil most of the time. I live right on the Atlantic Ocean, so I can't always say that. We get a little fog here. We get a lot of low clouds, especially in the wintertime. We had a beautiful summer. And today it's almost 11, quarter to 11. It's 16 above here. So it's starting to get a little cool. And Sarah, you're saying it's sunny there too. Yeah. Yeah. So I live in Nova Scotia, Canada, close to Halifax, part of the greater Halifax area. Not a real big city, only 450,000 people here. How about being micromanaged? I'm sure you've all had this situation, right? Why do you think it happens? Anybody have some ideas on this? What would cause your boss to micromanage you? Maybe your boss micromanages everyone. That's just the way the boss is. Any suggestions? Understand the reason. Try to understand your boss. Maybe the boss is being micromanaged. Maybe the corporate culture is kind of one of micromanagement, too much control. Control is very important to them. But if we treat people like children, they will deliver children's work, won't they? We need to be adult to adult, professional to professional. Gives us the ability to have more of a span of control, doesn't it? So instead of being able to manage 2 or 3 people, we can maybe manage 10 people, 12 people, and everybody's hitting their goals and everybody's cooperating, corroborating, working as a tight team. Micromanagement, I believe, is a very big issue. Communicate openly and professionally to whoever's micromanaging you. Establish lines of communication. Yeah. Now, sometimes it's easier said than done, isn't it? Yeah. Sample language. I've noticed that you're closely involved in my projects. While I appreciate your guidance, I'm wondering if there are areas where you feel I could improve or do it differently. Let them know. It's a subtle way of maybe letting them know that they're in there a little too deep, that they should let us grow and make a few of our own little mistakes and be there to support us. But we need to grow. Provide regular updates preemptively. So before they ask for it, let them know what's going on. Alleviate their need to check in. Take away their fears. Let them know that we're in control of the situation. I will keep you updated on the progress at every stage to ensure that we are aligned and the project is on track. Very much an agile approach, isn't it? And maybe the project will change in 2 weeks. But we're using agile project management. Seek feedback regularly, understanding areas of improvement and showing willingness to grow. Could you provide feedback on my performance and areas where you think I could improve or handle things differently? Would you be comfortable saying this? What do you think, Philippe or Sarah or whoever else is here? Give me your ideas. I wish we could do Zoom meetings on these LinkedIn Live events. It would be a lot more interesting for everyone, wouldn't it? Establish clear expectations, ensuring both parties are on the same page regarding expectations. Can we establish clear expectations and milestones for the project to ensure it aligns with the objectives? So we're working together. We're laying it out. We're planning it well so it can progress. Gently nudging the manager to provide some space for autonomy. Yeah. Let's just talk about it. Let's plan it out. And I'm going to go and deliver to you. I'll keep you appraised of what's going on. Yeah, I know there's a lot of information here, isn't there, Sarah? Yeah, a lot to talk about. And anybody that wants this, it's in Canva right now, but I'll put it in a Google slide. So anybody that wants it, just let me know and I'll send them to you. I think there's good language here. This is all common stuff, isn't it? Other concerns. How about conflicts with colleagues at work? Sometimes it's just a misunderstanding. You're really in agreement, but or there isn't much difference, but it's just somebody's being defensive, or maybe we don't understand what they're really saying. So full understanding is important. Sometimes there's bad chemistry, but we need to work together. So maybe take them out for a coffee and see if you can relate to them. Maybe tell them a little bit about your personal life and what's going on, challenges, and find out about them. Maybe they're having issues at home or something that you can help with, or just give them some support. Dealing with a difficult boss. Struggling with a manager who is unapproachable, critical, or unsupportive. Yeah, we've all been there too. Just remember, we're more than our work. There's always something going on in the background, and we have to give ourselves space at times. Sometimes people are having problems with their teenagers. Sometimes they're having some issues between them, their spouse and themselves. Maybe somebody's sick. Maybe somebody's seriously sick, a parent or something. We have to be understanding. Handling workplace bullying. I think this starts with having good practices. I think that when we start, people should sign on to kind of some kind of code of ethics about these sorts of things. How we treat clients, how we treat each other, how we will approach certain situations, how we will, if we make a mistake, we won't be afraid to bring it forward and all learn from it and be ready to move forward. We need to get away from the blame game and kind of get into the solution game. Yeah, yeah. I agree with you, Sarah. When bosses look angry or worried, people think it's about themselves. But very probably, it's more like the 80-20 rule. Probably something else is going on in the background. Maybe ask them if they're okay, if things are going well. Maybe they're getting a lot of stress from up above them, and it's just kind of transferring it. That's common. Managing work-life balance. Portugal has a law. Employers can't call you after, I think, 6 p.m. or 5 p.m. Maybe they have something if there's a big emergency. Yeah, empathy can really lower the pyramid. I agree with you, Sarah. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's a good comment. Struggling to maintain a healthy balance. The employer doesn't want us to get burned out. We need to balance these things, and they need to understand that we need time to finish projects properly and that we need time to think about things. Absolutely. In the end, we are all human beings and we are fallible. We're not robots, and we have a lot more abilities than robots do. But we do make mistakes, and we just need to understand that. Facing discrimination and harassment. Yeah. Some people are a little misogynist. They don't treat women the way they should be treated with the due respect. And we need to understand that between genders, we have different ways sometimes of doing things, but there are strengths on both sides. Maybe sometimes men are a little too much risk takers. Maybe sometimes, maybe women are a little too risk averse. We all work these things out, but it's not just about our sex. Navigating office politics. Do you think that if everybody keeps busy in the office, that we'll have less office politics? And when I'm talking about office politics, I'm not talking about uh, Bolsonaro and Lula or wherever, or what's going on in the American politics. I'm talking about people forming little cliques in the office, little groups, and excluding people and passing rumors around. And it's just a case of people being too idle, not having enough work to do. And it's not healthy, and we should not support it. And people should understand we don't want it. It's just not productive. We shouldn't gang up on people either. Experiencing job insecurity. Yeah, we listen to the news. They talk about possible recessions. We're hearing about higher interest rates. We're hearing about people having to pay much higher mortgages because of increased interest rates. You're concerned about the company you're working with. You read some things. Yeah, you wonder if they're evolving with the latest technology. You're concerned about artificial intelligence. But we need to focus on today, don't we? We need to focus on what we can manage, what we can change, what we have control over. And that's basically the thing. The rest is a bit of noise. I know it's a concern, but it is noise. And the best thing, if it's insecurity about the company, the best thing we can do is do our job really well, move our projects ahead. Yeah. Maybe we're talking about intern habits, mental habits, comportment at work. Yeah. Different things. It all relates. Some things are external, some things are internal, and it all reflects. And getting back to what Philippe said about all being humans, that's it. We're emotional beings. We have to understand that, but we need to control our emotions. That's what being an adult is, isn't it? And that's why, juvenile 16-year-old guys, they have to be managed very closely because some of them will get in a lot of trouble with their cars or whatever. But we're adults, and we're professionals, so we can manage our emotions, and we can think about it, give it thought, and try to state things coherently and see if they add up, and be ready to change our mind and make sure that we fully understand what we're reacting to. It's easy. We're frightened about something and react to something, and that's not what the company's talking about. Undergoing performance pressure. Okay. So you did really well last year, and the company said you can take more work, but you felt really stretched last year. Well, we have to let them know what's going on and make sure the expectations are reasonable. It comes back to deadlines and everything, doesn't it? And we just need to set boundaries. We need to be able to talk to them on an equal footing. There's no use just going around the bush, circling around, not saying it correctly. Let's just say it. I get frustrated when people just don't clearly tell me concisely what their concerns are, and then we can work on it together. Adopting to change. Yeah, big thing, especially today with AI. And, yes, don't forget, if you'd like this, Sarah's been doing it, the Small Talk Mastery course. I have a number of people who are doing it. I think it's helpful. Tell you everything you need to know about small talk. Small talk is very important. Small talk is how we build relationships. Small talk can affect your career. You'll notice that most people who get to the C suite are very good at small talk. When they speak to you, you feel like they have your full attention and they're going right to the essence of an issue or a problem or whatever, and that they're truly listening to you. And frustrated clients will generally say, they didn't listen to me. So, listening is a big part of small talk, active listening, storytelling, finding common ground, putting it all together, body language, handling hard topics, breaking the ice, and relate this back to what we were doing today. This is all about communication skills. Now, this is small talk, but small talk relates right through the whole enterprise. Anyway, thanks for meeting with me. I really appreciate the comments, and I know a lot of people watch this after. Uh, Give me your comments, DM me, just let me know how you're doing, what you'd like to talk about. I'm always available. I do group classes, individual classes. I have a 10-week program to transform your business English. I've done it with many, many people. I've taught, I say over 3,000 hours, but I'm sure I've taught over 4,000 hours to mostly IT and business professionals, plus 30 some years of high level business. I know business English. I'm not bragging. It's just I do know business English, but I often learn from my clients too. So thank you very much. Thank you, Sarah, for your comments, Philippe, and I hope everybody enjoyed this session. And let me know what you'd like to add to it. Let's make this a work in progress. I'd like to add this to some of the courses I'm producing. Thank you very much. Have a good day. Bye.